The day I called my son's girlfriend daughter, I had no idea those simple words would break her heart completely. It was a calm Saturday afternoon. The sky was golden, and I was outside helping my son while he worked on his old truck. He had brought his girlfriend Sydney over for the weekend. Before they came, my son looked at me and said softly, "Mom, please don't mention her family. Something bad happened. She doesn't talk about them." I nodded. I didn't ask why. Some stories just hurt too much to repeat. When I first met Sydney, I could tell she was special, sweet, gentle, respectful, the kind of girl who lights up a room just by smiling. And more than anything, I could see how much she loved my son. That afternoon, while he was inside grabbing water, Sydney walked toward me. "What are you working on?" she asked with that soft, curious tone. I smiled. "Just an oil change, keeping the old truck running." She leaned closer, watching carefully. "I've never done that before," she said shyly. "My dad never taught me, and after he passed, I just paid someone else to do it." Her voice cracked a little, and I felt it, that quiet ache behind her words. So I said, "Come on, I'll show you. It's easy, I promise." Her face lit up like a child seeing something new. "Really? You'll teach me?" For the next half hour, we worked side by side. She asked smart questions, laughed when she dropped the tire gauge, even got a little oil on her hands, and didn't care. She looked proud. And honestly, so was I. When she finished checking the last tire, I smiled at her and said, without even thinking, "Well done, my daughter." It just slipped out. Something I always said to my own son when he was young. But the second I said it, her smile disappeared. She froze, and then she just broke. Her knees hit the garage floor. She started crying, not quiet tears, but deep, shaking sobs that came from somewhere far inside. I dropped down beside her. "Sydney, sweetheart, what's wrong?" But she couldn't answer. She couldn't even breathe. My son came running out, panic all over his face. "Mom, what happened?" I said, I just called her daughter." He looked at me like I'd said something unforgivable. "Mom, I told you not to mention family." "I didn't," I whispered. "It just came out. I didn't mean to." He helped her inside. I stood there in the driveway, lost, guilty, heartbroken. That night I couldn't sleep. 2 days later, my son called and said, "Mom, Sydney wants to talk to you." When I got there, she was sitting on the bed, eyes red, hands shaking slightly. She whispered, "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have fallen apart like that." I shook my head. "No, honey. I'm sorry. I never meant to hurt you." She took a long breath. "You didn't hurt me. You reminded me of what I lost." And then she told me everything. Her father had passed away when she was in college. A year later, she walked into her mother's house and found her boyfriend in bed, chest tightened with her mom. "She told me to leave," Sydney said, tears rolling down her face. "She chose him, and I never heard from her again. You're the first person in 4 years who's called me daughter." I walked over and hugged her tight. "Well," I whispered, "then I'll say it again, because I mean it. I'm proud of you, and you'll always be family to me." Now every Sunday, Sydney calls me, and before we hang up, I always make sure to say, "I'm proud of you, my daughter."